The housing bubble burst of 2008 undeniably displaced hundreds and thousands of American families. In California, it forced thousands of families out of their homes, trampling on their dream of home ownership, practically transforming the once glorious American dream into a nightmare. Market conditions have changed since then, but thousands still lurch from the harsh realities of 2008 housing crisis. Many previous homeowners now live in cramped apartments as they slowly dig for hope that homeowners will soon, maybe sooner, become a way of life again. Join us for an illuminative discussion that makes owning a piece of America once again a attainable goal. Over 1 million Californians facing foreclosure and hundreds of thousands seeking affordable home ownership. In 2012, the NAAC politely asked Governor Brown to use the $350 million Attorney General Kamala Harris had secured from the big banks to protect homeowners in distress to help promote home ownership. The governor refused. His argument was simple: we are facing a deficit, but the NAAC did not ignore his duty to homeowners in distress and the future of home ownership. Once the Governor Brown's own executive announced that the state no longer had a deficit and would instead have multi-billion-dollar surpluses for the next few years, we sent 2 more polite letters to Governor Brown. But the governor again ignored our polite letters. But we did not give up, even though Attorney General Kamala Harris had lost her interest in regaining the more than $350 million. In the spring of 2014, we brought a class action lawsuit against Governor Brown. We asked him to return the $350 million to the people he had in fact stolen from our communities. We were joined by the leading Black church representing 5,000 African Methodist Episcopal Church and the lead church for the 40,000 Latino evangelical churches across the country. And to make sure we won, we got one of the best law firms in America, Jenner & Block, to represent us in our Sacramento Superior Court case. To the surprise of Governor Brown and Attorney General Kamala Harris, we won an award of $350 million. But the governor, who is often a champion for the underdogs, surprised us. He said, in effect, that he doesn't care what the court said or what the people need. Therefore, the governor appealed and delayed. We are now fighting the governor's appeal and delay. But here's the sad news for the homeowners. None of the $350 million will be made available until probably 2019. Why long delay? The governor's first appeal will take until late 2017 to resolve. And then the governor gets one more shot at an appeal before the California Supreme Court. We are optimistic that the court will eventually rule in our favor. We are optimistic even though the last 3 justices to the California Supreme Court were appointed by Governor Brown, and they all graduated from Yale Law School, the governor's law school. Unfortunately, the governor timed his appeal so that the Supreme Court ruling is unlikely to go into effect after he leaves office at the end of 2018. The legislator could, of course, force the governor to drop his appeal and fully comply with the court ruling against him. The Republican leadership supports this but needs a majority. This means it's up to the Democratic leader and our viewers. If you want to help over 1 million homeowners in distress and hundreds of thousands who would like to buy an affordable home, please write to the governor and your legislators. No longer blame it on the big banks. They paid multi-billions of dollars in fines, believing that their fines would be used to help the homeowners in distress. Some people say home ownership is not for everybody. I disagree. I believe that everyone can be a homeowner. It's just a matter of proper planning, right timing, fiscal discipline, and taking the challenges of buying a house and maintaining home ownership of the house with the correct information, which the National Asian American Coalition is always ready to give. Know your rights as much as you take your home ownership responsibilities to heart. An informed homeowner is an empowered homeowner. This has been Owning a Piece of America. My name is Faith Bautista.
Why are homeowners talking about counselors from
NAAC?
Well, because through NAAC and with the help of Faith Bautista, I'm now able to have a piece of America.
As a housing counselor, I will help you budget and get a clear picture of your finances.
I will help you understand your credit report and help you improve your score.
I will help you through your hardship and work with your lender to get a loan modification.
For free housing counseling, call 1-800-920-6248.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
When corporations merge, they're usually driven by one thing, and one thing only: profitability. It's all about their bottom line. Consumer benefits are almost never a consideration. Some may argue mergers could lead to better service or better products, but they leave the most important question unanswered: at what cost to the consumers? Welcome to Owning a Piece of America. I'm Faith Bautista. Big mergers could actually help 39 million Californians. The National Asian American Coalition, NAAC, and the National Diversity Coalition have taken the lead in influencing the direction of 4 giant mergers. Why are we doing this? Many people ask. Nonprofits can influence mergers. Only multi-million-dollar lawyers at very large law firms could influence mergers. Many times, that's correct. But with the help of experienced legal advice, we are involved in 4 mergers that could affect the future of Californians. The first involves Charter's $68 billion proposal to merge with Time Warner and Bright House Networks. The second involves Aetna's proposed merger with Humana. The third involves a merger of the 2 largest Korean American banks. The fourth is an effort by PG&E, the largest utility in the West, to have homeowners subsidize their new and risky ventures. In general, we have good news to report. The 2 largest Korean American banks, BBCN and Wilshire Bank, both headquartered in Los Angeles, have agreed to commit a minimum of $300 billion in community loans and reinvestments to underserved communities over the next 5 years. And they have agreed to provide their best services and products to all Californians and no longer restrict their services almost exclusively to Korean Americans. As a result, we have decided not to file with the Federal Reserve a request that the merger between the 2 companies be denied. We are now supporting the merger and working with the 2 CEOs. Charter's $68 billion proposed merger with Time Warner and Bright House appeared to be in trouble since Comcast's proposed merger with Time Warner was forced to be abandoned by the Department of Justice's scrutiny and California Public Utilities Commission's requirements. Our organization played a key role in blocking the Comcast merger. However, Charter decided to learn from Comcast's mistakes and approach our organization and our partners and to us to work together to achieve objectives, including those that could not be secured through government orders. Last week, to the pleasure of both Charter and our organization, as well as the vast majority of Americans, an agreement has been reached that the Department of Justice and the FCC have agreed to approve the merger if Charter agrees to provide the type of very high-speed, low-cost broadband service in every area it presently operates. Charter has announced that it will agree to such, and by next year, all America will have an opportunity for a high-speed, low-cost broadband service. We also look forward to working with the new Charter on many other efforts that will better serve our state's 25 million minorities and 70% of Californians who live from paycheck to paycheck. Last week, our organization was the most prominent participant in the California Department of Insurance special hearing on whether the Aetna Healthcare Company should merge with Humana. We have proposed to the Insurance Commissioner, Dave Jones, a strong advocate for the people, that the proposed merger serve as an important public purpose that no legislation or regulation could help achieve. We have asked the commissioners to approve the merger if Aetna Humana develop a future plan that will cover healthcare and lower the healthcare cost and increase the quality of healthcare. We do not expect the legislative stalemates on healthcare, as the stalemate has resulted in the U.S. having by far the highest healthcare cost in the world and at the same time among the lowest quality healthcare. This is why we have a far lower life expectancy and far higher infant mortality rate than our neighbor Canada or France or Great Britain or Japan and 20 other developed nations. Hopefully, we'll have a preliminary results in the great experiment by midsummer, if not earlier. Of course, what we call a great experiment is really just a combination of leadership and responsibility. Governor Brown and the vast majority of legislators favor more Californians purchasing electrical vehicle to help address climate change and avoid gas-guzzling vehicles. We agree. But the problem is that the utilities want to build at the taxpayers' expense. Electric charging stations, we are in favor if the utilities and their shareholders pay for them. But unfortunately, utilities want to experiment by making sure that only the ratepayers are at risk. PG&E, our state's largest electric utility, has presented to the CPUC, California Public Utilities Commission, a plan that could eventually cost over $600 million from the ratepayers. Perhaps this would be fair if almost taxpayers own the electric vehicle. Unfortunately, less than 1% of all vehicles on the road in California are electric vehicles. Tesla has a better solution. It is building relatively low-cost electric vehicles and providing a free-of-charge electric charging stations. We think that's the way to go. Support private enterprise, but make them not the public. Take the risk. At the end of April, our cross-examination of PG&E witness and their cross-examination of NAAC was completed. We should have a preliminary decision by the California Public Utility Commissions by the end of this year. The National Asian American Coalition imbibes a strong sense of purpose. We are here to help. We are here to inform. We are here to empower American consumers. NAAC asks the tough questions. People in power would prefer unanswered because the answers to these tough questions could put a dent on their bottom line. But it also means we have fulfilled our purpose, that of being the bridge that closes the gap between a thriving business community and a well-informed, appropriately protected, and super empowered American consumer. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner and you're facing foreclosure or having a hardship, please call National Asian American Coalition or the closest HUD-approved counseling agency. There's so much help for you out there. All the banks are mandated to help you. After all, the banks are not making profit when they're foreclosing on you. That's always the myth. They do not make profit. It doesn't benefit them if they foreclose on you. If you believe you deserve to keep a home or your home and keep your family there, call NAAC. I do not say guarantee because that's only death and taxes, but because NAAC has a very strong relationship with all the banks, the servicers, like Ocwen, NationStar, SPS, Bank of America, Chase. We are here to help you. Thank you very much. I'm Faith Bautista, and this has been Owning a Piece of America. Owning a Piece of America presents Lifestyle with Asian Journal.
I found it. This is the sweetest secret on Sotel Boulevard in Los Angeles, the B Sweet Dessert Bar. I'm going to indulge myself. Hi, welcome to Be Sweet. Hi. I'm finally here. I've heard so much about your place.
So good to meet you. Thank you for
so
coming.
Excited. You know, I don't have a sweet tooth, but I'm making an exception for you because I've heard tons of good things about your place.
Well, thank you. We might change your mind about having a sweet tooth.
I was gonna ask you, Barb, because your story is amazing. Like you said, this all started out with bread, a banana bread pudding?
It's actually a loaf of banana bread. So I used to make it for my husband every year, and he would send it to his clients. It's chocolate chip banana bread. It started out as banana bread, and he said, you know, you got to put chocolate chips in it. I want to give it to my clients, so I would bake it every year, and he would send it out. And then he would just get bombarded with emails about how good it was. And so he said, I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. And so he said, one day you're going to do something with that bread. And I kind of looked at him and I was like, so you want me to go back to work?
And then after that, you started catering.
I started with the bread and I sold it to a local, like, I think it was like a little cafe in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And I sold it and I called him crying because they wanted to buy one loaf a week. So I was making like $16 a week. I was actually selling my bread. And I called him. I was like, you're not going to believe this. And I was crying. He's like, what's wrong? And I said, they're going to buy my bread once a week. And so that's kind of how it all started. And then I picked up a large account doing a lot of other desserts and pastries and stuff like that.
A lot is an understatement. I mean, now you have almost 40 kinds of bread puddings. Can we see how this works here? So you have
well, this is the menu board.
Right.
And it's, you know, now we do specialize in bread pudding because what happened with that banana bread was when we had a little bit left over, I turned it into pudding. And so then I figured, well, why not do other really fun flavors and not just the chocolate chip banana bread, which is actually the first flavor that we've had and the most popular at this point.
I know. So the way it works is every week you have 6 flavors of.
We have 6 flavors of bread pudding, 4 of which that are pretty popular, so we try to keep that on the menu, and then we change out maybe 2 or 3 of them at a time. Everybody has a personal favorite, so this week it's under that number 2.
And I'm a little biased because I'm Filipino like you, and I heard that some of your flavors, you incorporate the Filipino flavors like ube. What
I
other?
do. We do a lot of ube desserts, a lot of buka pandan. We work with a lot of coconut. My grandma actually used to grow ube in her garden and make the ube pudding.
Wait, your grandmother used to grow ube in the garden?
Yeah, she grew ube in the garden. She peeled them and she cooked them in the garden. I know it's a little funny, it's crazy, but it all kind of came back this way. But ube has been a popular flavor at B Sweet.
Well, she'd be very proud because I heard that. On weekends, you gotta stand all the way out to the street to get into this place.
Yeah, it's really nice to see. It's really heartwarming that all your hard work and everything that you want to share with people has really kind of come true.
All right, let's get into where the action is, Barb. So, oh my goodness, you are kidding me.
These are some of the other desserts that we have aside from the bread pudding. Every week, again, there's some staples that we have, and then we change up some things. There's always a Filipino dessert. And this week we have the leche flan cake, which is...
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah,
Where's that?
It's right at the end here. So it's an ube cake on the bottom, a buka pandan cake, and then the leche flan on top.
Okay, wait, Chef Barb, you are responsible for all of this. You're the chef. You make This all happens in your head.
It happens in my head
creation.
at the weirdest times.
Like
yes.
what time?
Yeah. I don't know, in the middle of the night, sometimes in the shower. It depends on what I'm doing.
Shower?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, one last thing.
Yes.
Before we enter the kitchen, I want to ask about the sexy oven. This is
oven.
intriguing. I don't know
Yeah.
what.
Like the desserts, I guess in my mind I had a vision of what I wanted the store to look like if I did ever open a brick and mortar. And the sexy oven was part of it. I love the whole eclectic look. You know, I love iron and wood and all that, and that's what the walls represent inside the store.
Yeah.
And this was a piece that I knew that I wanted to have but couldn't afford at the time. And I saw it at the front window, and I was with my business partner, and I said, I want that oven. And he's like, you're not going to be able to afford it. So I went in, talked to the people. I think I went in 2 or 3 times, and he kept trying to sell me something else, but I wanted that sexy oven. She's pretty sexy, right? She's an oven from the 1900s, and they refurbished it, and I wanted to use it mostly for probably like my condiments or my creamers and stuff like that. So I think she's definitely very sleek and sexy.
Which planet are we living on?
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Why are homeowners talking about counselors from
NAAC.
Well, because through NAAC and with the help of Faith Bautista, I'm now able to have a piece of America.
As a housing counselor, I will help you budget and get a clear picture of your finances.
I will help you understand your credit report and help you improve your score.
I will help you through your hardship and work with your lender to get a loan modification.
For free housing counseling, call 1-800-920-6248.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
Okay, Chef Barb, how does this work?
So on the bread puddings, we have a being good size and a being bad size.
Wait. You mean being good?
Yep.
You only have a small container, and then
And then the being bad is the larger container.
All right.
But I think you can finish this one.
no, I think I'll start with the being
Really?
good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna make one for you.
Okay, what kind are you gonna make?
And so the flavors that we have this week are banana chocolate, glazed donut, salted caramel, pineapple upside down, speculoos, and coffee cake. So which sounds good to
I'm
you?
gonna go for coffee cake
Coffee cake,
because I'm a
okay.
coffee girl.
Okay, do you want ice cream on top of that or whipped cream?
Do you suggest it?
I say ice cream. So what I suggest is vanilla ice cream so that you get the true flavor of the bread puddings.
I'm a vanilla ice cream girl. I mean, I hardly
great.
eat ice cream, but when I do, I go classic vanilla.
Very good. So we're
So
gonna
this is, you made this already. It's
This is
pre-made.
made in our commercial kitchen,
Yeah.
and these are the 6 different flavors, and you chose coffee cake.
Yes,
so I'm
I
gonna
did.
put
Okay.
a scoop in the being good size.
In the being good size.
Yeah.
Are these all your ideas, these concepts about being good and
Um,
sexy oven?
You know what? My business partner we have a great partnership in doing all of that. All the desserts and all the cooking is done by me, but a lot of the branding and all the other things is his expertise. So
And
good
plus, I
stuff.
have to say, this is such a charming place.
Thank
you.
you.
decorated it, right?
That I did, yeah.
All right, so we got one scoop.
But we're going to add some goodies to
each
Each of the different puddings has a different drizzle.
Yeah.
So for the coffee cake, we have a cinnamon cream cheese drizzle. So put a
Cinnamon and cream cheese?
cinnamon cream cheese,
Oh,
yeah. So put a
okay.
little bit of that in there. Just a
Was
little
that
bit
a
more.
little? Oh, God.
And then we're going to add ice cream to it.
Okay, remember, Chef, it's being good, okay?
It is
Yeah,
good.
okay. So what's next?
So we're going to go over here,
Yeah.
and we're going to put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on here. And growing up, my dad used to take me to Thrifty to get ice cream. So this is what I use, classic Thrifty ice cream.
I love it. Classic thrifty.
Yeah, it's the best. So I'm gonna
Okay,
put a
so
scoop
it
of
goes
that.
on top of the cinnamon cream cheese and on top of the bread,
bread
pudding,
pudding,
which is
yes.
coffee flavored. I'm liking this. I'm liking that. Okay.
We'll grab you a spoon and you'll be ready.
Wait,
to
that's
go.
being good?
This is being good, yeah.
I may have to share this with Mark, my producer, Debbie, with CG.
See, you might change your mind after you taste it.
Okay, so that's how you serve it.
That's
then.
how we serve it, yeah.
And then that's my personal way that I want it. If someone
Normally,
else
yeah.
wanted to order another, so they can have their own, you can create your own.
We can. The only time I do use a different ice cream is
No,
on...
not the different ice cream, but the
Okay.
different pudding, right?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a taste. All right, we're gonna switch roles here, Chef Barb. You hold the mic.
Okay.
While I
got this.
do the eating. Let's see. So I go all the way and just.
All the way and get a little bit of everything.
Oh my goodness. Wow, this looks. Okay, I quit my job. I'll see you later.
Bye. Jackie's off.
Chef Barb, I know that aside from having one of the quaintest places here, you also have one of the cutest food trucks. I heard about that.
Two of the cutest food trucks.
And their names are?
So these are our mascots. So our food truck is, there's Little Devil and then there's Little Angel, named after my dad. So on his right wing, you'll see the word dad.
Okay, so your dad, who is now in heaven, right? That's a little angel, and I assume, who is the little devil?
Who do you think it is, Jackie?
Let's go see those food trucks.
So Jackie, this is Little Angel.
Oh
She
my
is
God.
the cutest little truck in Los Angeles.
This is so cute.
Yeah, she's sweet.
And who is this cute guy?
And this cute guy in here is my business partner, Kurt.
Hi, Kurt. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm good.
You look so cute inside this cute little truck.
It's a little small for me, but it works.
Let's talk about how this truck goes to different events and.
We get hired for a lot of weddings,
Yeah.
parties,
Yeah.
birthdays, and we bring it up, set it up, and we'll serve our desserts out of it. We serve our coffee. We serve a lot of different things out of it. Whatever warms your heart.
That's fantastic. So, small events like from birthday parties all the way to weddings, graduations, everything like that.
We've done small parties for just a few people to huge events for large corporations for 5,000 people. It just depends how much time they have, what they want to serve, but we're pretty good at cranking through a lot of people.
This is so cute. And I also heard that if your event is at night, this little angel has music and lights. Is that correct, Kurt?
It is. We try to make it a party on wheels, so we can turn the lights on, we can have music blasting, whatever the music that you want to listen to at your party, and just whatever fun we can have with it.
And what goes best with dessert but coffee? And Be Sweet has all kinds of coffee. In fact, they're proud about this new thing right here. Barb, can we have a toast? So these are like now on cans. You have your.
This is our Nitro coffee can. We also serve it on tap in the store, and we also have a Nitro matcha green tea, which is probably my favorite.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
The Nitro
Matcha green tea.
coffee.
Well, this is the coffee and that's the green tea. You should try both, Jackie.
So when the truck goes to your place, everything comes out of this little thing.
Everything comes out. You'd be surprised what we can hold in this little truck.
Really?
A lot of stuff. We can serve up to 1,000, even more people from this truck.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's taste it.
So we're gonna give the Nitro coffee a good shake.
Oh, okay.
And that's your green tea that you're pouring.
Yep.
And this activates the nitrogen inside the can here. Do you want to do it, Kurt? Yeah.
Well, can you explain that, Kurt? It activates what?
Yeah, so we have nitrogen that's mixed in with the coffee, and then a little dose of liquid nitrogen to keep it where it is.
Will that keep me young and
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the caffeine will help with anything, but you shake it, and when you open it, you shake it, which is counterintuitive, but then, just like it was on tap, you pour it, and then you'll get a little bit of a head on it, just like a beer. So there's a little bit of cascading.
Wait,
and
just like a beer?
Just like a beer. So we serve it on tap in our store like a beer, and we serve it in a can.
Okay,
like a
well,
beer.
if it's just like a beer, let's cheers.
Cheers to you, Jackie.
Salud. Guys, I'm telling you, I have a new love for sweets. I hope to be sweet, but let me talk about you learning Tagalog. Okay, say, well, you know what delicious is, right?
I know how to say delicious.
What?
Masarap.
Yeah, but you know what? Be sweet is not masarap. You know what it is?
What is?
Super sarap. Say it.
Super sarap. I used to tell my mom it was magrabe sarap, and she's like, those are the wrong words.
There's no magrabe. Just say super sarap.
Super sarap.
Okay, remember, sometimes be good, sometimes be bad, but always be sweet.